We hope our prisons can do two things for us: keep our communities safe by separating violent criminals from us, and change the course of criminals' lives for the better. But what if prisons are doing neither? Joining me today to explore these questions is Maya Schenwar, Editor-in-Chief of Truth Out, an independent social justice news website. She is also the author of Locked Down, Locked Out: Why Prison Doesn't Work and How We Can Do Better. Welcome, Maya.
What the research suggests about the pre-prison lives of the incarcerated, and I think particularly useful for people who would tend to follow the argument that those who have broken laws, in some sense, need to be punished, and how, if we do pay attention to what the pre-prison lives of the incarcerated are, how that shouldn't be equated to being sort of soft on crime.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would start by thinking about a slightly unrelated or seemingly unrelated idea, which is the recidivism rate. The fact that people who go to prison within 3 years, once they're released, are very likely to go back. So we need to start thinking about why people are committing the crimes they're committing in the first place. Some of them are things that they're doing in order to put food on the table for themselves and their families.
What is restorative justice, and how does it alter sort of the traditional victim and perpetrator relationship?
What's done is the victims and the offenders and community members who are directly impacted or closely related to the people involved are brought together, and they talk to each other and they tell their stories. And in particular, the victim is able to speak to their experience and say, this is how what you did impacted me. And the person who did the harm has to sit there and listen to that, which is sometimes immensely painful.
I would imagine.
The person who did harm talks about what they did and their background and how they came to be at that place. And eventually they come away with some very concrete things that everyone's going to do, and particularly the person who did the harm.
What do you imagine sort of average citizens like myself can do to become involved in the work for a more just justice system?
I think that the best thing that people can do really is look at what's going on a community level, you know, in their kind of immediate vicinity, and actually dealing with the problems at hand instead of, again, this blanket state solution to all types of crime. If we're going to do that, that's going to happen from our community. These movements for decarceration and abolition and the movements against police violence, all of that organizing that's happening on the community level against those things is also building something.
Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me.
For Maya Schenwar, I'm Peter Bermudez for Arlington Public News.